Hello everyone, another Klaus here, and today guys I'm gonna review an Exo-Force set released in 2006, one of the two little sets. So remember Monday I reviewed the uplink set, which was in fact the little mechas for the human side, and now I'm gonna review the Sentry, which is the mecha for the robot side, so the heavy robots, well, stuff like that. So here's the box, the Lego Exo-Force written here, of course the little Japanese sign, the kanji up there, the little border on the side, excuse me, with, as you can see, some shape of the little bot. The bot you can see right here in a close-up shot of his face. Of course it's a drawing right here, and of course the Sentry itself on the robot cam, on the robot side, because you have to know that the action takes place in fact in the took place in a mountain divided in two sections, one for the human, one for the robot, and of course the robot section, the robot side, is full of mechanical installation and stuff like that. And of course, it's not really the landscape is not really bright; it's more like dark colors. So on the upper side, you got a 1:1 scale of the robot in his real form, so the real toy itself. And then on the other side, nothing really interesting apart from the logo and stuff like that. And on the back, of course, you got the alternative model you can build with the Sentry. Of course, you are supposed to go on exoforce.com to find some parts of the solution, in fact just some steps, not all the steps, and try to build this guy. But well, the little sets are pretty simple to make, so nothing really complicated. I think you can even try to make this guy with these pictures. I think it's pretty possible. And I think that's all. Maybe the site exoforce.com still exists, so just check out in Google. And that's all for the box, so pretty nice, quite like all the Exo-Force boxes. And now for the instruction booklet, which is of course kind of wider, as you can see. And you can build this guy in, like, I think it's 15 steps, with the last step is of course the stickers, the applying of the sticker, if I can say so. It was quite boring at this time, because in 2006 you were supposed to put the stickers only at the end of the model, and it will be changed in 2007, yes, when in fact you will put the stickers throughout the building, in fact, and not just at the end of the building, because it was really painful, because you just finish the model and then you have to take like 5 minutes to apply all the stickers. Of course, it's up to you if you want to put or not the stickers. Personally, I have already said I prefer to apply the stickers, because they make the models really look better, in my opinion, and not just some bland Lego toys with bland colors. So, well, I think they really add details. Here's the parts list. And here's the little diorama, of course, showing you all the set from the first wave. So this means all the four middle size, not only middle size, but mech, the two little one, and of course the two kind of different sets, one vehicle and one playset. But of course we're gonna review those guys later on. Then you got the 4 guys of the Exo-Force team, so we have already seen Rio Monday, and here's the 4 type of robots. So, well, we're gonna see this one today. I don't remember his name, because they all got name, in fact, so I don't really remember this one. The same picture, the alternate model, and I think that's quite good. And now for the set itself, or maybe first of all the minifig itself, which of course is quite interesting because it's a bot, so it's a different mod than the usual Lego minifig. So here we go. This one is the kind of the normal units, so of course they're kind of copper color, but the more advanced units are in a silver color, with sometimes some trans color it fade, like for example trans blue fade and some silver color. But we're gonna see that later on the bigger set. So of course this guy is copper. You can make, in fact it's got like 7 parts, which got the main body frame part with the head link, so this means you can turn the head or stuff like that. It's really in the same mold as the body frame. As you can notice, you have 1 stud on his body, and then also one axle, in his head, which is useful to put what we call the eyes. Of course, it's a technique axle, but it's yes, it's useful for making some eyes to the robot. Then you got the arms, which are in 2 sections. Of course, the hand itself and the arm gonna link like that. Then you got the feet. Again, pretty detailed with all this mechanical aspect and stuff like that. And as you can see, this guy stands in fact on a 2x2 plate, in fact, not just on 1x2 plate like the normal Lego minifig. Like this. And well, for the articulation, well, here you go at the maximum for the legs, which is quite nice. Only a dynamical aspect, and then of course the arms can turn up to 360, in fact 360 degree, and the same goes for the hands, which can turn on the side like that. And that's all for the figs. So really, the bots I think are pretty really excellent figs, even if nowadays Legos really outdid themselves with original minifigs, like for example the ones in the Atlantis team or stuff like that. But really, they really did a great job on the bot in 2006 with the Exo-Force sets. And then I got the Sentry itself, so the little mecha itself. So here we go. A little turn around, yes, maybe. Oh, don't try to fall off. And here we go. So like the uplink, this guy can be divided into like 5 sections. So 2 arms, 2 legs, and 1 main body section. And here we go. Then I think, well, that's quite all. So yes, the main body frame, how it's made, really simple. So we're gonna use this plate kind of like the uplink, then put this part which will be useful to link the leg. So again, excuse me, quite like the uplink. And then yes, then we got this pinhole, this brick with a pinhole which will be useful to link the arms. We're gonna see that later on. And then something that is not like the uplink, in fact, is that there is no slope brick on the back with no antenna right here. The same goes for the cockpit, which is quite different because, as I've said, this guy used 2x2 studs brick, in fact, plate. So this means there is no place for another part for the main cockpit, for control center or stuff like that. So you've just got 2 handles on the side. So pretty simple. Then you got the arms, which are in fact, because of course if the arms were just like that, it would be a kind of a little mech. So this means that some technique beams right here, as you can see, 3 pinholes. Then link this type of technique system parts, so this means there is a pinhole plus some studs. Then we're gonna use this shoulder section, which is in fact a more complex slot brick because there is tons of little stuff like that on the side. Of course, here you can notice the stickers. This means we're gonna link also notice the antenna, which is right here. We're gonna put this part, excuse me, right here. And then to link the arms, we're gonna just use, in fact, this cylindrical shaped brick, as you can see, and use, in fact, the axle hole, which is in there, to link an one side axle, one side pin type of brick. And then we can link the arm itself, which is made pretty simple. So this time we're gonna use some rockets, kind of like the Sentry, even if the rockets are made in a different way. They are not as long as the ones in the uplink, excuse me. Gonna link that, of course, like this. And well, we are done for the right arm, which will be linking in there. And now for the left arm, so it's the same. So we're going to use a little technique beams and this type of part, link it to the shoulder sloped brick pieces, then the cylindrical shaped one, and then the arm itself, which this time is more like a laser than a rocket launcher, stuff like that. So made with a droid body, yes, a droid body from the Star Wars toy line, and then this type of part, notice the little light right there, which is quite useful for some details. Kind of like you look inside the weapon and you can see the ammunitions. And again, I'm gonna link that thanks to the pinhole. Then the same goes for the side. And now for the legs themselves, which are in fact quite the uplink. This means we're gonna use this technique part and then this system articulated parts, which will be linked, in fact, all the leg sections. So this means, excuse me, this part in which we where we will put another shoulder sloped brick part, so kind of like the one used right here. In fact, the exact same ones. And then you got the you got the feet, which are made really simple with a brick and then some car pieces. Well, car which are usually used on pieces, excuse me, which are usually used, yes, which are often used on some Lego car sets. So like this part, for example, which is sometimes used as a motor, or this part with this sloped brick. Of course, there is a sticker right there, and then this part which is often used as a roof part, but this time it's just used for the fit to make a more geometrical aspect, because you may know that in fact in Exo-Force the humans got sloped brick, but in fact ones with some curves, stuff like that, unlike the robots, which also got some sloped brick, but not with any curves. In fact, it's really more straight lines and stuff like that, to give them a really more robotic feeling, of course, not an organic one. And here we go. First, we're gonna link this on this section on the back, excuse me. And I think, yeah, that's quite all. So here we go. So again, a little turnaround, and then I will talk about the, well, I will just, yes, the articulation first. So the articulation, you get like 3 articulations on the arm. So one here, if you really literally want to put down or up the arm itself, then this articulation, which is more like what you can expect if you level up or level down arm, in fact. And then this one, which can rotate on the side for the arm itself. The same goes for this, for the left arm. So you get this articulation, then this one, and this one. So 3 per arm. Of course, you can turn to a handle, but that's part of the pieces, so not really an articulation. And then you got like 4 articulation on the legs, so one right here, one there, here, and finally one on the foot itself, right there. So of course you can turn other way you want, and try to make some pose. But you have to take your time to make the poses, to really turn the articulation the way you want. So I think I don't really want to waste any time, so we're just gonna let this guy in the initial position, because it looks pretty good even in the initial position. So in the standstill position like this. So we're just gonna let it like that, and now we're gonna put the figure in the kind of cockpit. Like this, and this time he can take the handle in his hands, unlike the Rio in the uplink. And well, that's all. So well, to sum up about this little Sentry guy, so well, the color scheme first, which I have not talked, I have to admit. Well, as you can see, it's black, dark gray, light gray, and some kind of a brownish color right here, a kind of a light brown, well, yes, some kind of brown color. So, well, it's okay. I mean, it's pretty not really original, because, well, the black and dark color really mix well with most all of the colors. So it's an okay color scheme. I mean, it's quite interesting to have some new brown shade, shade, which look quite original in its overall color scheme, which is made of pretty unoriginal colors like black or dark gray. But it still looks pretty good, but not really, not really that fantastic. The same goes for the part selection, which is quite okay. I mean, of course, you got your usual weapons part like from the Exo-Force toyline, like the rockets, stuff like that. You also got this shoulder pad in this color for them, which can be quite useful. But apart from that, so you see again, I don't find any weird parts. But again, I'm not really even if I look the Lego system toyline, the stuff like that, I'm not really a connoisseur in the war parts and stuff like that. So I will just say that for me it's just some okay parts, nothing really original, nothing really poor, but just okay. The same goes again for the building, because apart from the arms, which can be quite original because they are not directly linked to the body, because they use the technique beam to make them put in a higher position. So see, apart from that, nothing really to say. Again, it's a pretty straightforward construction with the use of this articulated system parts. So unless you haven't really built any mechas in Lego system, nothing really original or really new for this set. And then the overall design, which is pretty cool, I have to say, because unlike the uplink, which was quite strange, this one is a much more compact design, I think, because you have some kind of a shape reminder, because this part is used 4 times, so on the shoulder and on the legs, and this really means for bulky little mechs. And it really look pretty nice. Seriously, the overall color, the design and stuff like that is pretty good. So I don't have any complaints. Maybe while the cockpit itself is quite poor because it's just the guy on the mech and with 2 handles. So yes, of course, the same goes for the the other parts, which seem pretty simplistic, but still it's look pretty fine. And for the size of the model, it's look pretty good. And by the way, here's a little comparison. Okay, a little comparison with the uplink. Oh yes, and this time the arms don't fall down like the uplink, because it's another part which is used. So as you can see clearly, with the second version of the uplink, where the arms are much well. You can see that the arms are quite thin. In fact, these parts are quite thin, and it's really kind of weird because these big blocky parts are quite bulky. So there is kind of a difference of shape between the parts in the uplink, which is not in the Sentry, because the Sentry is got a much more compact design, and that's why maybe the Sentry got maybe a more interesting design. But again, it depends, because as I've said, there exists a first version of the uplink which got different arms which are in fact smaller, and this means the model itself is again more compact than this second version. But well, that was a review on the Sentry, and as I said, seriously, the Sentry is a quite interesting model, because it's really a nice well, it's really doing a nice job for first little mech, which are supposed to be mass produced and yes, tons of time. So they really did a good job on the Sentry. So pretty good mech. Well, I think that's all. So again, if you want to buy this guy, you can search on eBay or Bricklink, or also in a garage sales and stuff like that. Around your region, I guess. Because I don't really know if there is any website that still sells them, so just search. Maybe Amazon still sells all Lego set. I don't really know, so just look for and you will see. So that's all. If you have any questions or comments about this set or this review, feel free to post them in the comment section of this video. Of course, hope you enjoy, guys, and see you later for another Lego video review. Bye bye.